And now we have a rumor mill to talk about. We have, honestly, Fantastic Four is in here twice for different reasons. And then we have some gaming rumors that sound pretty delectable, as well as a, which one is it? The X-Men rumor that we're probably going to be shooting down. So, hello, nerds. I know what you want. You're looking for the rumors, aren't you? Well, you've probably come to the right place, because that's what this is. This is the Rumor Mill. This is a section cut out of the much longer main episode over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. We talk about all of the news related to nerdiness and pop culture and such. And then at the end of every episode, we talk about the rumors. And so you just found a cheat code and you went straight to the rumors section, which is, you know, all right, so let's just cut to the rumors now, shall we? Let's take it from the top. We have no confirmations or refutations, but we do have new sources for old rumors, which, starting things off, is Fantastic Four. We have a new source talking about the old rumor of Margot Robbie and Adam Driver, etc., being cast in this, and now they're saying that something has happened and they're all quitting. They're all quitting before they've even shot a single frame, before the ink is dry on the contracts and whatnot. So back to the drawing board, according to the rumor mill. This is new source for an old rumor, so we're not going to give it a percentage, but this just seems ridiculous. This is the rumor mill covering its ass, I feel like. This is rumor mongers saying, oh, well, you're never going to know that I was right because now they're all quitting and it's not going to be announced. So, I just think that's silly. From there, we have a new rumor for the DCU casting, the James Gunn movies. Reportedly, Nicholas Hoult was previously reported as being cast potentially as Kal-El Superman, but now they're saying that Nicholas Hoult is being cast as Bruce Wayne Batman. I can honestly see this one. I still think it's kind of a load of hooey, but I can see this. This sounds like a potential thing, so maybe there's a little hope there, because Nicholas Hoult is a great actor, so why not? Let's give it a shot. I mean, I know he's British, but, you know, it is what it is. From there, we have one on the Marvels. We have a new source telling us the rumors that we talked about previously are in fact false, and that's not how the movie's going to play out, and that's just the 4chan thing that people have been talking about. And this, if we were giving it percentage, would be right in the middle of the road, because it really, at this point, it could go either way, and I don't know how many people actually care about the Marvels right now, because just Marvel in general, as far as movies go, not doing it for a lot of people. Then from there, we're going to Lucasfilm. This is kind of reviving an old rumor, but an old rumor nonetheless. We have another source saying that Kathleen Kennedy is really gone now. She is going to be leaving the company, according to the rumor. We've been hearing this rumor for, seriously, I think close to 3 years at this point, since before the last Star Wars movie. So even longer than 3 years, because when did the last Skywalker, or the Rise of Skywalker, come out? I don't even remember, but it was right about then is when these rumors really started hitting their peak. And it's kind of been the same thing ever since. So, I mean, who really knows with that? And then the big one, the big revival, at least as far as the rumors go, the big one that we've talked about a number of times is the next Rockstar game, the next Rockstar reboot, legacy, sequel, whatever, the remake is going to be, in fact, Red Dead Redemption. It's going to be an updated version of the original game for modern consoles. And again, this is old rumor. We've heard this one a number of times. Now it sounds like it is actually picking up steam, because this new source claims that the reason we haven't seen it yet, because it's always been a thing, the reason we haven't seen it yet is because they put it on the back burner while they were working on other things over at Rockstar. Now they have the time to work on this again, so it's back in the rumor mill. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's get into the new rumors, though, shall we? New rumors this week. We have Kraven the Hunter leading the pack with a rumor saying that we're going to be seeing a cameo from a Spider-Man in this Sony Pictures movie. R-rated Sony Pictures movie, no less. So that kind of adds a little mud to the water, but I still think we're looking at about a 70% likelihood that Kraven has some sort of Spider-Man cameo. Will it be Tom Holland? I don't think so. Honestly, I think they're going to surprise everyone and go with a completely different actor and maybe not show his face so they can still leave the door open to be proper MCU related, but if they have to, they can go with this actor going forward and then do Spider-Man related things with a kind of sort of version of Spider-Man. That's my big surprise. But I think either way, we're going to get some sort, I think the rumor is correct in that we're going to get some sort of Spider-Man cameo. So once again, 70% likely for that one. Next up is a Netflix rumor for Sandman Season 2. It is said that they are now casting the Norse gods for Season 2, like Loki and Thor and Odin, etc., being as they play a pretty big part in the comic books for the Sandman story. This stands to reason. There's no reason to not think that this is going to be a thing. We're going to say 90% here, just because that's a little bit later in the Sandman lore that those characters get introduced. So it seems like it's a little early, but Gaiman could do whatever the hell he wants. It's his franchise, right? So maybe he's going to speed things up, or he's going to start that story sooner, or something along those lines, whatever. 90%, man. 90%. From there, let's go into Nintendo. There are now rumored dev kits for the Switch 2 finding their ways into the warm little hands of gaming developers. We actually have a number of sources claiming this, one of which is a very good source. So the assumption by a lot in the community is that because this is supposedly a thing, we are going to get an announcement very soon of the next hardware generation from Nintendo. And that seems like it's not super freaking likely. Not the least of which being, they're not going to have it ready. If they're sending dev kits out now, they don't have production models. They're not going to have enough production models to launch a system by the holiday season, which is when they would want to launch a system. So there's just no way in hell they're going to be selling it at this holiday season. So why would they announce it more than a year in advance? That just doesn't stand to reason. But do these dev kits exist? I think there's about an 80% chance that is likely, man. And I think that's even a conservative number. I think 80% highly conservative. But again, we're going to play this one a little bit safe. Going from there, we're talking about staying in gaming. PlayStation 5, we have a revelation from the Microsoft suit that Sony is planning on launching a slim version of the console. And in order to do this, they are going to be launching a detachable disk drive for said slim version of the console, because they have two versions of the main console. One is media-less, so it's all digital, and one has a disk drive, and it's the more powerful one, much like the Xbox. That's going to be difficult because you have two different hardware sets. Well, if you make that media drive an accessory and then sell it at a premium price separate from the console, you can kind of do whatever you want. So this kind of stands to reason, though it also comes from Microsoft. So they very well could be very misinformed because, you know, the corporate espionage and whatnot. So yeah, we're going to say, we're going to put this at 90%. And I think that's kind of wild and crazy. I think that's not as conservative as it probably should be, but it's a video game rumor, and usually they're pretty accurate. So, at least from my sources anyway. Deadpool 3 is our next rumor mill set. We have Deadpool 3. The rumor is that House of M is going to find its way into live action vis-a-vis Deadpool 3. Sure, like this is kind of a why not situation. But really, there's so much out there as far as rumors for Deadpool 3. It's kind of hard to sift through the potential garbage and the potential accuracy. There have been some less than reputable sources claiming the same thing. So that's why it's over halfway there. But honestly, going in much more than halfway on most of these Deadpool 3 rumors anymore feels a little icky. But again, this has been corroborated by a couple other sources. So we're going to bump this up a bit and say about 60% likely we're going to be seeing a version of the House of M in the Deadpool 3 movie for a brief moment or so. From there, we have, sticking with Marvel, X-Men, or The Mutants, if you will. The Mutants is the movie that has been quasi-announced. So it is going to be a cosmic origin for the X-Men. That will then lead into a Judgment Day adaptation. That will then lead into a Mutants saga in the MCU, which very likely will be sometime after the Avengers Kang Dynasty, I believe, was the second one. So the next saga after the Kang saga, or after the Avengers movies, or what have you, is going to be the Mutants, the X-Men, if you will. And yeah, maybe we're so far away from this. Like, everything right now is kind of up in the air as far as Marvel is concerned. So sure, this might have existed somewhere behind the scenes at some point, but does it now? Possibly. So we're putting this one right about 50% likely that we're going to be seeing this in the near future, maybe announced, maybe not likely. From there, we have another Fantastic Four thing to talk about. This one comes from a garbage resource, but I just had to put it in here because it's a little too funny to not talk about. Fantastic Four supposedly has cast Matt Smith as the new Reed Richards. That's right, Doctor Who playing Mr. Fantastic. No, no, I don't think that's going to happen at all. 30% likely that we will see that happen, and I think that's generous. I'd be very, very surprised if we see Matt Smith playing Reed Richards. And then our final rumor for this episode has to do with the DCU kind of as a whole. Specifically, this rumor says that the DCU is going to be one of two entities under the Warner Brothers umbrella. The other one is going to be the Elseworlds universe, which is apparently going to be a universe unto itself, or as some people are more want to call it, the Matt Reeves verse, the universe in which the Batman exists, and the Batman 2, and the Penguin, and the Gotham series that may or may not be canceled at this point over on Max. All of these that are being produced by Matt Reeves, that are not being touched by James Gunn and Peter Safran, they are going to be a universe unto themselves. And because they're going to be a universe unto themselves, there are going to be other movies made in said universe by other directors and creators aside from Matt Reeves. That's what the rumor is. I mean, this sounds just crazy enough to be a legitimate thing. I really think that James Gunn is trying to do something a little bit different from the MCU, and this is pretty damn different from the MCU, leaning into two different mythologies for the same characters, while a little bit of a gamble, knowing what I know about some of the more casual fan base, let's say, I think very well could pull off what Marvel is no longer able to do. So we're going to put this one at about 80%, just because I think James Gunn is crazy. 80% likely we will be seeing two separate DC universes in the movies. And that, once again, these were the rumors from the most recent episode of The Week in Nerddom, found over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. The name of the show, once again, The Week in Nerddom. Come back next time, because we got lots more rumors to debunk or possibly give some credence to, or what have you and whatnot. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.